Hello, students. I hope you guys are doing the absolutely greatest. For today's class, we will be talking about integration of cultural and linguistic elements. And we will have a very varied class regarding different topics about things that we can find in regarding other cultures about the English language. And I hope that for today we will have an amazing class. So the first thing I'm going to do is present what we're going to do for today. I hope you guys have the greatest attitude because this is going to be quite exciting. So, for today, we will be talking about how we can implement these cultural elements in the reading. So, this is the lesson plan and the objectives. By the end of these lessons, you guys will be identifying and describing, you guys can identify and describe the cultural practices, customs, and traditions of a specific community or region and understand their linguistic expressions. And you guys can also analyze how language reflects cultural values, beliefs, and social norms within different societies, and develop intercultural communicating skills by demonstrating appropriate language use and cultural sensitive behaviors in diverse social contexts. Okay? These are the selected materials. For today, we will be regarding the relevant text of the UK culture because this is the culture that we will be talking or studying today. We will be reading Shakespeare. We will be reading a little bit of Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet that I know that you guys have heard of. And also Jane Austen's novels like Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility. I don't know if you guys know the last one, but we will be saying this today. And about relevant media, there are different movies and artists that you guys might know, and we will be seeing this today. For example, the James Bond film, that is an iconic British film. It has several movies. We also have the different British shows like Doctor Who, The Crown, and a little bit more of those. We will also be seeing a romantic comedy, Bridget Jones movie, that is shown here. It's a romantic comedy that I personally love, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys because it follows the life of a 32-year-old woman. She's British, of course, and she decides to improve her life, her physique, her romantic life, and she writes a diary. So it's amazing. I personally love it, and that's why I want to share it with you guys. It's going to be a short piece, not all of it, but I will also invite you guys to search for the movie later and maybe tell me a little bit about it. We will also be listening a little bit of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones because these are legendary bands and well known around the world. We will also be listening a little bit of Adele and Ed Sheeran. The next we have are the developed activities. These are the activities that are focused on cultural exchange. For example, this is a little activity called show and tell. That for this activity, you guys are expected to share aspects of your own culture and learn about the other's culture, fostering cultural awareness and improving speaking skills. So after the reading, we will be working on this. And this is the point that each student can gather an item, an image, a story, something, whatever it is, to represent their cultures and can talk about it with the rest of the class. And during the session, the students take turns presenting their item. And why it's so important in their culture. And they will also be answering questions from their classmates. The interaction will also be encouraging classmates to ask questions or share similar traditions from their backgrounds to promote practice and listening skills. And there will be important questions such as what is this item, why is important, how do you celebrate this tradition, and that's the purpose. But if the students aren't from different cultures or countries, the teacher, will assign a country to each one of the students for them to investigate for this activity to be developed. And the cultural exchange fair, it's an idea that I think it's very interesting that the students research a culture and create like bilingual presentations and set up interactive stations with foods, music, and traditions. It's an idea. It's not going to be done in this class, but you guys can start thinking about it, and they can share their findings with peers and the community, promoting those language skills and cultural awareness. This task is linked to project-based learning. That's something that it's important to take into consideration. Something else that we will be doing is this global cuisine virtual cooking class, because the objective is that the students can read and also learn food-related vocabulary and practice secreting and explore cultural diversity through virtual cooking, a virtual cooking activity. What's the point? The point is that you guys as students can learn to prepare dishes from different cultures and learn the new flavors and culinary traditions. For the preparation, a traditional dish is going to be chosen from different cultures, for example, tacos, sushi, pasta, etc. And you guys are going to share recipes and vocabulary in English beforehand. I mean, you guys are going to read about it before class, before presenting, sorry. And during the class, the students will follow the reading instructions to prepare those dishes, simulate the process of cooking, and they will do that while they pay attention to the vocabulary, the spices used, and the customs that they can see through the food. Like what I can see through this thing I'm about to cook, what I can learn from this culture by the way that they eat, something like that. And well, the interaction part is that the students will describe the ingredients and steps in English and share personal experience or familiarity with the cuisine. And there will be a follow-up activity that is a virtual food festival that is created. And the purpose is that in this space, the students can present pictures of or descriptions of their completed dishes if they've done it, because that's the purpose, that they can actually do the dishes and discuss their cultural significance and talk about how was the experience with them, what they learn about the culture through the cooking, and etc. And this is an extra little activity, a little fun game that is a vocabulary game, and the students will have to describe the cooking process in 1 minute. It's like how I did this recipe, but the fastest I can. That's the activity. And for the last part, we got the evaluation plan. The thing that is going to be done to evaluate you guys will be a perform-based assessment that uh, for this, the students will demonstrate their cultural linguistic skills through performances like role play or real life situations. Like, for example, you guys can engage in dialogues of cultural exchanges, like buying something, taking the bus, asking for directions, because these are things that can be done in a real country that you guys are going to be using the language. And this is self-assessment also, that the students, you guys can reflect on the learning process and the progress that you guys have been doing in a cultural and a linguistic understanding. I mean, all the things that you guys have learned, how can I start using that and seeing how well is that affecting your progress. You guys can assess that yourself. And the last thing is writing a reflective journal or a diary. Uh, I'm encouraging you guys to document you guys learning in journey. including observations, challenges, good aspects, bad aspects, whatever it is that is related to culture and language, to see how well you guys are doing. So this is the activity, and we will be starting. This may be a long presentation, but during the class we will be parting each one of these pieces to follow the class. Okay, this was it. Thank you so much.